Okay. Hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me because, as I mentioned in the comments, there may or may not be some technical issues on this stream due to science. But I know we're going to have people trickling in here. And I think I'm just going to launch straight into a tenor so that we can get some things going while everyone's still coming by. All right, so if you trickle in while this is going. So if you trickle in while this is still going, just go ahead and do a little stretch. And we'll catch up when the timer stops. All right. There we go. Haha. All right. We've had some folks trickle in. Hey, guys. Grayson Wild. I haven't seen you in forever. Oh, plotting and learning to plan digitally. Okay, that sounds cool. When you say plan digitally, do you mean plan the books digitally or just plan digitally as in like Google Calendars? Because like legitimately that's something I struggle with. I still need paper calendars. I can't do it digitally. It doesn't sink into my brain the same way. Melody is here. Doing some data processing stuff today. Okay, yeah, same. By the way, Melody, what do you use for your data processing? By the way, do you just use Excel or are you using something like SPSS or possibly R? Because if you are, see, I made it funny. If you are using R, help, because my script keeps getting errors. Oh, and I can see myself lagging. Let me know if you guys are getting errors because I mentioned it before at the top of the stream, but I may be experiencing some technical difficulties during the stream because I am also doing data processing, not intentionally. I try not to stream when I'm processing data because of the amount of RAM that it takes. It's like my fan is going crazy right now. So if I cut out, that's where I've gone. Basically, I started running a image analysis program yesterday afternoon. It's probably got 30 hours left to run. I have 30,000 different images to process. But I did figure out how to make a cluster map, so that's cool. I use different like filters. You train the computer to find big clumps, and I'm looking for aggregates of bacteria and cell death events, which basically means anytime a bunch of cells die in close proximity. And that took a while to figure out, but I did. So now it's running, and it will probably be running for the next day, which is annoying. Afternoon, unboxing my new vacuum cleaner. Things that 30-year-olds get excited about. I understand that feeling. Vacuum cleaners are one of those things that I didn't think I had a fussy opinion on until I had to actually buy one. And then I was like, no, I suddenly became very particular because before it was whatever vacuum my mom had, whatever vacuum the people I worked for had. It's like, okay, this is the vacuum. This is the one I use. But no, when you buy your own vacuum, it's like, oh, I suddenly have opinions on vacuums. Okay. Books and my schedule. Figured it would help a bit. Yeah, I know a lot of people say that digital planning can help you get a bigger picture of the situation, but I just struggle with it. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't sink in the same way. I do think that having a copy of it online helps a lot because then I'm less likely to lose it basically. But my brain is too scattered to like do that to actual things. There's paper everywhere. Oh, and a nest of Post-it notes. Oh, I dropped some. I need that one. So yeah, the paper's not working, but the digital didn't work for me either. So if you find a way to make digital work, let me know. Excel and R. Okay, so you are using R. Oh, but my sister does all the R stuff. PhD in physics. That's cool. I have a cousin that's a PhD in, it's not physics. I think it's quantum physics. I don't know. Whenever he talks about his research, I don't understand it. But I need to message him because I've got a problem with my code. So can you question in Excel? People keep telling me that you can run an ANOVA in Excel, and I can't seem to figure it out. And I've tried Googling it, and it should work, but it doesn't. Okay, so it's coming through okay. So maybe the lags are just on my side because of the RAM situation. I'm hoping my computer doesn't melt. Good morning, Tiny Scribe. How are you? Also, it still feels so weird that it's like I know it's morning for you guys. I know that, but it's not only is it 3 p.m. here, but this is my second time waking up today because I woke up, got a bunch of stuff done, and then it was gray and rainy and cold, so I went back to sleep and then got up again when the sun came out. Because, yeah, yeah. Yeah, see, that's what I said. People were telling me that you could run an ANOVA in Excel, and I looked it up, and it's supposed to be possible, but I think you need Microsoft 365 in order to make it work because it's part of a data package. Like you need to get an extension, and my 365 just expired, so I don't really feel like renewing it. I'll just have to learn how to do it in R. Yeah, I was very excited when I thought I could do it in Excel, but no, the universe did not want to be kind to me. Okay, so what are we thinking, guys? We should be productive. We should do the things. Oh, also today, because it's it's the last Sunday of the month, so I want us to take some chances here, if you can, to alternate between being productive and being productive in the self-care way. Because I've done that a couple of times before on the streams, and I always just feel like it makes the rest of the day, especially the rest of the week, so much easier if you take these little bursts to do favors for future you. So like right now, one of my things for today, I'm mostly because I can't touch my computer because it might explode. But one of the things that I'm doing that I'm calling it productive self-care because it's something that I would never normally do, but I need to do for my own sanity, is I'm actually going through all of these scraps of paper and I'm transferring the information that I need to keep, and then I'm just going to get rid of the rest of the scraps so that things are in one place and I don't lose my mind. Or if I lose it, at least I can find it again because it's all in one place. So just keep that in mind as we're doing our sprints. Try and alternate some stuff if you can. Maybe during the breaks, or maybe if we do some smaller sprints later, just go ahead and take an opportunity to stretch, get water, get coffee, throw something in the oven for later. That's something that I'm going to be doing later, is I'm going to take one of our sprints to actually go and prep some caramelized onions and roasted cauliflower with sweet Thai chili stuff on them. It's not hard. I chop up vegetables and I put stuff on them and then put them in the oven. But future me will appreciate it because future me will be hungry. I had a small nap, so it still feels like yesterday. Yeah. Yep. Well, and are you still working at nights? Because I remember your schedule, you were like 100% night owl there for a while. I have a big deadline on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. That'll be nice. That's a good feeling though, isn't it? When you like dedicate a day or even half day. See, that's why I do Tuesday. I'm going to go into town because my bus pass expires on Wednesday. So any last minute errands that I need to do, I'm going to do on Tuesday. And it's actually going to be nice weather. So I'm going to go for a walk in the park, and I'm probably going to go to the Systembolaget, and I might actually go and buy some mascara. Like I know the big splurges, but you know, it'll make me happy. You're not already diving into a big mug of coffee, Grayson? What you doing? What are you doing? Get some. Okay, we need to start another sprint so that Mr. Grayson can go get some coffee. If you hear something popping, don't worry. It's not my spine. It's just my chair. It's being annoying. All right. I figure we'll just go for another 20. I know the timer that is preferred by some of you. So we'll go ahead and do that one. Because it seems to make you happy. No longer working, but still pretty much awake all night until 10 or 11 a.m. Yeah, once you start on a schedule that's like, I worked in bakery for so many years that I'm waking up at 5 or 6 in the morning pretty compulsively, which is fun. Oh, good, you've got chai. Oh, chai sounds nice. Okay, 20 sounds good. Mm, maybe we should all just do that. We should all just go make some chai tea. I don't have actual chai tea, but I cheat. I make a really strong black tea. I add some nutmeg, cardamom, and cinnamon. Okay, so we'll do Among Us this time, and then we'll do doggies next time. But before we get into it, take a moment to stretch. Make sure you're not hunched over your keyboard like little keyboard gremlins. Either refresh your chai or go get yourself some coffee or whatever you need. Save as you go, and just think about what you want to get done during the stream. Are you trying to get some things off your to-do list, or are you trying to take some time for you? Whatever you want, just focus on it. And for the next 20 minutes, that's the only thing that matters. And I will see you guys on the other side. Okay, okay. What is happening to my hair? Okay. Note to self, stop doing that to my hair when I'm thinking. I'm doing okay. I worked my way through all of the scrap paper that I had collected, mostly. But like this is a perfect example of why I need to go through these things. Like these notes were written by me over the course of several days in completely different topics. Some of them are video ideas for YouTube. Some of them are pictures I want to post on Instagram. One of them is a dose response curve for inhibition using antibiotics. This is the name of a protein bar. And that's something I was supposed to Google, never did. And these are the dose recommendations for the amount of vitamin D we were using to give to our macrophages. So like it's all just scribbled on a piece of paper because I feel bad wasting paper, but then, and this is just like scratch math, my backpack becomes full of these random pieces of paper and I'm terrified of throwing them out because like some of this stuff I needed. So I'm glad I have the opportunity to like sit and make sure that I'm transferring the stuff that I need to transfer, if that makes sense. I already did this. Okay, but so how are we doing? I know we had Tiny Scribe had to leave us. She went for a surprise breakfast outing, which sounds phenomenal. That's one of the things I miss here in Sweden is this thing called brunch because we don't do that. They don't really do breakfast or brunch in Sweden. It's not a thing, which is annoying. But let us know how it's going. Okay, I have English and breakfast and Irish breakfast tea. I'll brew one of those because tea sounds amazing. I love tea. I'm still finishing up my coffee, but I think after this, I will probably go ahead and make my Cheats chai, which is, like I said, that's just black tea with cinnamon, nutmeg, and cardamom. And every house in Sweden has cardamom because we're weird. And then Suey joined us. I use the sprint to post about my new vacuum on Insta stories. This is my life now. You know, we thought adulting was going to be one thing, but we also thought that student debt, health insurance, and existence were other things. So I'm content with it. It is like a portable blotter pad. I have one on my desk that was a catch-all for notes for just about everything. Yeah, I have just, I did just clear out my little nest of crumpled up post-it notes. But oh dear goodness, I get so distracted. Also, I found some fan fiction in here. So apparently I got really bored in a class one day because I think this is the plot to a Avengers Buffy the Vampire Slayer crossover featuring Xander. So I don't know what class that was supposed to be for, but I was not paying attention that day. On my way to the kitchen, I was distracted by the cat. We had a light conversation about his weird licking habit. I forgot what I was in there for and came out with a bowl of cereal. That sounds about right. Sounds about right. I know I can't be the only one because you had the excuse of the cat, but you do the thing where you walk into a room with a clear and intent purpose and then immediately forget why you were there. Like, don't know what I was doing. So you just do something else or you just go back out. I've done that as many as 3 times in a row before I finally remembered what I was looking for. It's just one of those things, although cereal does sound nice. Yeah, he was supposed to get tea. Apparently the cat distraction had other plans. Oh, would you stay flat? See, this is a bad thing about being on camera is I'm now very aware of my whatever this piece of hair is. I think if it was shorter, it's a cowlick, but right now it's just Stay. Ha. It's called goo brain, and I have it all the time. Oh, I keep doing that thing too, where there's at least four different things going on in my head at any one time. So in the middle of a conversation with my dad about the porch, I will switch to aggregate formation on my macrophages. Which, for the record, he just nods and smiles, like, uh-huh, that's nice. And then we get back to the porch, but I'll just, because my brain's running them all at the same time, it's like switching tabs, and I don't realize that I haven't told anyone I've switched tabs. So, like, if you're not used to random topic jumping, it just gets a little confusing. Food. No, it's only like 4 p.m. I shouldn't be hungry yet. Why am I hungry already? I might use this next sprint to start the oven. It's a Stay Kelmer hairstyle. Hey Hugin, how's it going? Oh, just so you know, I am going to be doing a video in Swedish soon. Yeah, ha. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be terrible. But me and the Nerdy Book Nerd tried to make chokladbollar, and no, I'm not using the other name. So we tried to make chokladbollar, and the funny part is I'm a baker and she speaks Swedish. So between the two of us, we managed to make it work, but it was it was interesting. I didn't think it was possible to have difficulties with chokladbollar, but no, it's possible. It's possible. I couldn't think of the name for milk today and made the squeezing teeth symbols. Yeah, yeah. Well, what is it? The meme that I like the most is just a tweet from some guy who's like, yeah, this happens to everyone. He watched two professors in like astrophysics or something. One of them forgot the word for photon, and so they were just calling it like floaty light ball or something for 10 minutes straight. So I mean, it's not a dumb thing at all. It's just I think goo brain is the best description for it. But okay, so what was I doing? Okay, we should do another sprint. Ooh, I wrote in pink at some point. Can you see that? Flow cytometry and YouTube. Why do I have YouTube on the same thing? Oh, those were the notes I took from the YouTube video. I was having trouble understanding the subject when they were talking about it in my lecture, so I just watch YouTube videos. Fun fact, if you ever want to learn advanced scientific concepts, don't go to grad school, just watch YouTube videos. Yeah, because if there's a complicated technical procedure that you want to learn, there's a YouTube video out there for it, and it's probably been produced by the manufacturer. So it's like, it's totally normal for me. I think it's normal for most of us. But yes, we were going to get back to a sprint. We are going to be good and focus. Sort of. I believe I promised someone puppers. So we'll do a short one. Does a 15 sound good? Honestly, I YouTube just about everything. Yeah, same. If I'm not sure how to do something, I will usually YouTube before I Google these days, just because I'm a visual learner, so it's easier for me to understand it when I can see it. So that just helps. That just helps. But yeah, is a 15 okay? Because I found some cute puppies for a 15. He's so cute. So cute. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by puppies. Okay. Puppers, puppers, puppers. All right, guys. Oh, and now you will understand why I've been so distracted, because they are just so adorable. Yes, Melody is working on her data. So yes, I promised you puppers. I shall deliver puppers. Okay. Take a good stretch. If you forgot to get your tea previously, do it now. Or finish your coffee and then get your tea, whatever order that goes in. Make sure you save as you go. Try and drink some water while we do this. And if you're not writing or just in the back of your head, try and think of something that you can do in the next 15 minutes that's going to make the rest of your day just a little better, you know, just a little bit easier. Maybe go ahead and empty out your inbox or take out the trash or something that, you don't really want to do, but let the puppies encourage you to do so, okay? Just absorb their cuteness, and I will see you on the other side. Oh my God. Damn, that's good tea. All right, guys. I actually got a lot done. I am very excited. I used all of the joy that the puppies gave me, and I sorted through a bunch of my papers. I got dinner started, sort of. I'm gonna have to go back down and poke it in a minute, but I chopped up some onions into big chunky bits, and I tossed them in sambal oelek and a little bit of salt and olive oil. So they're going to be in the oven braising for like the next, until they're delicious, usually like an hour. And I'll add some cauliflower at the end so that can get some color too. But I'm going through my notes. I need to digitize these. Taking notes, I can only really do it by hand. It's the only way that makes sense to me. But once I have them by hand, they're not very functional. So I usually have a like multi-step process of like I'll take really terrible notes, like messy, scratchy all over the place, and then I'll rewrite them into something that's, you know, neat and organized. So like this, so that it sort of makes sense. And then I can, like, that helps me study. Those are alkene-alkyne reactions, in case anyone cares. And then, but then at some point I need to digitize them because they're not searchable like this. And I do want them to be searchable because flipping through 10 pages of notes is a lot harder than hitting Control F. So how are we all doing? What did you guys do during the break? Oh, and I also got a cup of tea. It is 4 o'clock. This is their white tea chai, which is a lot milder than like a regular chai, but man, it's hitting the spot right now. Oh, you do that too, Melody? Yeah, it's there's a word for it. It's not active recall, but there's a word for that type of studying, and it is just more effective for some people. I do hate it because it takes so long, but it's also the only way that stuff sinks into my brain, at least semi-permanently. Otherwise, it's just in and out. I have to write it down. I think it's mechanical memory is the term for the learning style, because we all do have different learning styles, and that learning style can actually vary by subject. Like I have a mechanical memory when it comes to things like science or math or computers or anything that I have to sort of is more in depth. But when it comes to things like history or English, I have a more visual memory where, like, if you show me a Wishbone episode on, Great Expectations, I'm going to remember that story forever, you know? But you make me write about it and I'm going to forget about it in 2 minutes. And that's a completely normal thing. But I think we don't account for that much when we are studying and working on things, that different learning styles and study techniques not only work for different people, but work for different subjects. Yeah, writing it down is like, oh, so you convert them. See, my revision stage is going from the messy notes to the neat notes. And then I used to, back when computers weren't a thing, I used to go from like the neat notes to condensed notes, which I called like my master review sheet, but it was still physical. These days, I do that on OneNote, which is a Microsoft product. I really wish Google had an alternative to that, because I'm always afraid that my OneNote's going to go away somehow, but I don't know. It really does work. Although, what is this? No, seriously, what is this? It's written in 2 different color inks, but I can't tell why. Oh, blues definitions. Okay. Okay, blues definitions. That makes sense. That makes sense. I really need to get more brightly colored pens. I think the moment I figured out that brightly colored pens helped differentiate subjects, it made a big difference. Yeah, if I don't write it down, it's gone. Yeah. My grandmother used to make lists, my farmor, my father's mother here in Sweden. So farmor used to make lists of stuff that she needed to remember. And then she would make a list of the lists, like grocery list, house list, birthday list. It was like, at that point, I start to get concerned that maybe I'm just losing my mind, but it works. But yes, I need to digitize these, basically. This one's organic chemistry. This one's genetics. This one's bioinformatics. And this one, these are data science. I didn't bother keeping the notebook. It was just full of scratch paper. There's a lot of math involved. So I have to digitize all those at some point. Yeah, like bullet point math. Because really, I think when you're taking notes, I don't know if I'm too far into this because I was a nanny or because I was a tutor or just because I'm a giant flaming nerd. But so basically, when you take notes, it's an active learning process, and you're doing it for one of a couple of reasons. Either because your memory is linked to mechanical memory, and that's best for like when you're trying to remember how to spell a word, or when you're little kids and you're like learning vocab, you rewrite the word 10 times. I mean, it's annoying, but for some of us, that was the only way we could remember, so we just had to write the word 10 times. The other reason you take notes is to reformulate thoughts. Like, anytime a teacher says, explain this in your own words, what they're trying to make you do is that process, reformulating things in a way that makes sense to you. And I really like that part. I think because I'm a writer, that I turn things into analogies. Like, okay, the filtering software that I'm using to go through my cellular images, what this is it's a live cell imaging system. So it's an incubator that takes pictures every 3 hours. I've talked about this before. But the way the computer works is it's like applying multiple Instagram filters to try and see things. Like, the filter that you can put and makes your face look like a dog. I sound like an old person. But it's like trying to apply multiple filters like an Instagram image. And like an Instagram picture, sometimes you start fiddling with things like color saturation and shadows too much, and all of a sudden you realize your photo that was perfectly nice to start with now looks like garbage. Like there's a point at which you have to walk away. And explaining it like that makes sense to most people. Saying that you need to alter the top hat segmentation in order to adjust the threshold for fluorescent images, that's just confusing. So like, so that's the other reason you write notes. And then the third reason is to condense. And that's like that final process that we talk about where we're taking the information that we either need to remember or is vitally important or that we need to revisit or restructure again. And we create like these reference documents. So it's memorization, reformatting, and condensing. Those are the three main reasons you take notes. And the thing that I think helps a lot, which sounds weird, is recognizing why you're taking the notes. If I'm taking the notes just so I can remember how to spell something, it doesn't need to be neat, it doesn't need to be tidy. I can literally just write the same thing 10 times in a row. If I'm doing it to condense, I'll draw pictures if it helps it make sense. And if I'm doing it as a reference document, like from my own mind, like half of my notes are written in code. Like I have a protocol here for how to separate blood cells. And like they're written on recipe cards. And line 3 is add the frozen cow juice, yellow goo bottom drawer. Don't forget to spin, which I swear makes sense. Because I'm adding fetal bovine serum into my blood cells, but you have to defrost it, so you have to run it through a centrifuge first, otherwise the cells will clump at the butt. It makes sense, but don't forget the cow juice, yellow goo bottom drawer, spin. Like, it makes perfect sense in my brain, and that's the only brain that it needs to make sense to, you know? So, like, putting things in code like that, as long as it makes sense to you, helps. I can smell my dinner cooking. Oh, yeah, I lost my OneNote. Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm scared of, losing the OneNote notebook, because, like, you lose access to that, and that's just, like, everything's gone. So I was looking at that, what's the alternative to OneNote? Evernote, I think it's called. I don't like that as much. Nothing stylistic, like format wise, like it works fine, but it's not as colorful, which shouldn't be a reason for me not to use the software, but it is. Nothing wrong with losing your mind, it's finding it that's the important part. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, basically. But that works. Okay, so we should do things. I should drink my tea before it goes cold. And what are we thinking as far as timers here? I have a 25-minute just blank background. We have the Among Us, we have puppies. I could look for kittens if we wanted to try that. Let me know how long you're thinking and what sort of theme we're thinking, because I don't know if the puppies were helpful for focusing, but they sure made me feel better, you know? I'm thinking maybe kittens this time. Or maybe I'll see if I can find another puppies. Puppies. I love that there's so many out there, you know? It just makes everything better. Okay. Okay, Melody got in here first, so we've got kittens and 20 to 25 minutes. Okay. Okay, let's see what we've got. Aww. It's cute. Sorry, I'm gonna make that noise a lot. Okay. Oh, it's a Coca-Cola ad. Yeah, I know a lot of people just like wait for Wait for my voice to descend back from the void. All right. Take a moment to stretch, prevent your spine from snapping in on itself. Enjoy your hot beverage of choice and don't forget to drink water. Save as you go, and I will see you on the other side. Okay, welcome back. Let me know how you guys did. I liked the kittens. They weren't as cute as the puppies, though. But I actually still got some stuff done. I went ahead and swapped loads in the laundry. I got the cauliflower in the oven with the onions. I've got chicken going in. I got through a bunch more of these old notes. Sometimes it takes me a minute to figure out what I'm staring at. Like, what was in my head when I wrote this? Tidyverse, mutate new column. Tidyverse is a computer program. Mutate, maybe I needed to add a new column? There's a thing about putting your notes in code. Is that sometimes you then have to like decode them, which is always fun. But so how did you guys do? What kind of shenanigans did you get done? We are getting to the bottom of the hour here. So while you're filling me in, also let me know how long you want to go again. I think we have time, depending on how long I sit here and chit chat for right now. We'll either have time for another 10 or a 15, probably just a 10. I wonder if they've got one that's just baby animals. I'm now really into this like cute things timer, you know? Of course they have them. Oh, there's one with duckies. That's not a timer though, that's just a compilation video. I need stop getting distracted. I think the biggest problem that I have is that I used to have separate notebooks for separate subjects. And so it was easier to keep track of. But now, because I'm just sitting in my chair staring at a computer, there's no reason to like put a notebook away and get out a different notebook. So some of these pages of notes are just completely jumping from one area to the next. You know, like this is a list of subjects I wanted to study, not necessarily classes, but like areas that I need to practice in. And then on here, I have what looks like math. Percent change of Drac 7 versus confluency. Confluency of which confluency? Oh, write things clearer, Eve. Write things clearer. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so you're just waiting to hear me pop back up again. Working on electronics and soldering for my new R2. Long way to go. Oh, fun. That actually sounds really cool though. Soldering, just make sure you protect your eyes and fingers and everything else. Like I know I work with bacteria, but electronics and electricity scare me. The only thing I know about working with electricity is don't get any on you. That's something my dad started telling me when I was like 6 or 7, and it's just anytime we're fiddling with wires, that's what he's going with. Don't get any on you. Okay, so we're gonna run out of time here, so I think we should do another 10. We're just gonna go ahead and do this one with puppies because I think they're cute. And we could, what, the world could use a little more cute. A little more cute would be great. Arts in health and safety and the number of training videos they made me watch. Yikes, no thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's sprint. Melody's on a roll. All of our heads are kind of like in the middle of our work. See, that's the thing is that once you get in the zone, it's hard to come back up. Okay, so I'm gonna put up some more cute animals. I'd tell you to stop being like screen gremlins, but Higgins like probably crouched over the workbench. I'm impersonating a troll, and Melody, if you're the one with good posture left, then it's just you, babe. Okay. Save as you go. Take care of yourselves, and as always, I will see you on the other side. All right. That is it. The timer is done, and I think we are just about out of time here, guys. I can smell my dinner cooking. So I am going to heartlessly abandon you and go enjoy that. But I hope you guys did well and that you got a bunch of stuff done. I actually feel like I got quite a bit done this time. So sometimes when you're hosting streams, you're getting a lot done, and sometimes you're more just distracted by the chat. I actually managed to get more done this time, but I do miss my nerd tangents, so we'll have to make up for that in the future. Just so you guys know, I won't be here next Sunday because I do try to schedule time to work on my science. It worked okay this time, but I'm not. The data processing is going much slower because I'm streaming. God, it's so slow. I'm only at 23,000. I only processed 1,000 images in the entire stream, which is 4 times slower than normal. So I won't be here next week, but then I'll be back every Sunday next month, and I will see you then. Have a wonderful day. Bye.